Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy.
Meet the Freshmen. Freshmen, meet the Freshmen. They're the newest Tigers on the team.
So we'll do two a day until we've done them all. And we're starting today with speed. We are going speed, speed, speed. And we've got it in spades here with these two guys that we're going to start the process off with. JuJuan Johnson is the first. JuJuan Johnson from Lafayette Christian, 5'11", 190 pounds, defensive back. But he comes in with an incredible amount of accolades at the prep level. JuJuan Johnson set the LHSA all-time, all-purpose yards record. He topped Brock Berlin, who was dicing folks up in Shreveport at Evangel when I was in middle school. 13,662 yards he accounted for at LCA, and he was doing it as a quarterback, obviously, but he's just such a great athlete. He committed to Colorado right when Jaan got the job. Prime was kind of the new hot thing to get into, and then they went up there for the visit for the spring game, and immediately when he got home, decommitted. I'm not doing anything to do with that. And then all of a sudden, he picks the home school, LSU, and becomes a commitment in this class of 2024. He was a consensus four-star recruit, and the question is he a corner or is he a safety? I'm curious to get out there and see how they use JuJuan Johnson because he's an incredible athlete, but he's going to have to do something a little bit different than he did a lot of his college career where he was focused on scoring a bunch of points and playing quarterback. I tend to think he's more of a nickel or a safety than an outside corner, but we'll see. Corey Raymond's made a lot of money making really good athletes into great cornerbacks and defensive backs, so I'll let him decide what he's going to do there, but I'm curious to see how that shakes out.
I actually got a chance to watch him in person. I was covering a game at Woodlawn. They were playing Woodlawn, so
okay.
not a very good team. But he solely played quarterback. He did not play defense at all. He was definitely very athletic, very fast, a little smaller. So I'll be interested to see, like you said, what position he'll play. But I think this is going to be a guy that we're going to wait, I think, a little bit before we see him see the field because he's going to have to learn a lot to play defensive back in the SEC.
No question. On 3 had him as the number 290 player nationally, the number 27 cornerback, and the number 5 player in the state of Louisiana, a guy that looked like he maybe headed out of state. He's in the fold for LSU, and Corey Raymond gets a really moldable young player to figure out at the defensive back spot. So that's JuJuan Johnson, the first freshman of the day. The second is Jelani Watkins. Jelani Watkins is not a guy that I spent a lot of time considering in this signing class as it relates to the 2024 season. That's Dominic McKinley is a guy you figure could get some time. Gabe Relaford is a guy you think could get some time. Those are two of the higher-rated players in this class. Like, those are the guys that you think may get to the field a little bit more quickly. Trey'Dez Green comes to mind when you think about that as well as a freak show of a tight end athlete. But Jelani Watkins did not necessarily come to the top of my mind when I was thinking about that. But Brian Kelly went to SEC Media Days 2 weeks ago, yesterday, and was asked about two guys maybe you're not necessarily thinking a ton about with this team. And one was Dominic McKinley, but the other was Jelani Watkins. And I did not expect to hear that. And so for the head coach to say that as the first thing that comes to his mind when you get that question really piqued my interest. Jelani Watkins is like kind of a one attribute dude. It's not size. He's 5'9" or 5'10", depending on where you look. He's 165 pounds. But he's freakishly fast. You're talking about a player who was the 2-time Texas UIL 200-meter state champion. He anchored the 4x100 relay team for his high school in Houston. He ran a 10.27 100 meters. He is elite level fast from like a track and field perspective. And we've seen some of these guys come through the door at LSU. Certainly Xavier Carter comes to mind. Absolutely Trenton Holiday especially comes to mind with Watkins because he's undersized. You've seen guys like Jarrell Brazil come in with all-world type speed. Like, there have been a lot of guys who've come into LSU with this type of speed. Benny Brazil had a nice career at LSU and is now on the track staff. Like, we've seen track guys come in, and he's a decorated track athlete. But can he help playing football? And when Brian Kelly goes as far as to say that, like, Watkins is one of the guys he's looking for that you may not know about, I'm interested. This may simply be a Trendon Holiday type situation. Y'all remember the way that Les used Trendon. It was a little frustrating. I was in college at the time. He would put him in the game, and when Trendon came in, like, he was getting the ball. Jet sweep, screen pass, go. But Trendon Holiday is the only player in the history of LSU football with multiple kick return for touchdowns, also returned multiple punts for touchdowns, and was an explosive playmaker when they could get him the ball, and he translated that to the NFL. And maybe Jelani Watkins is a guy that they think can be a kick returner for him. Again, he's 5'9", 170. I don't think he's going to be a key cog at wide receiver based on what LSU brings back and has in the fold. I don't see him beating out Kyron Lacey and C.J. Daniels and Chris Hilton and Kyle Parker and all these guys, Xavier Thomas. And I feel like Xavier Thomas is going to be part of the kick returning equation too. So I'm not sure where the fit is, but I'm curious and I'm intrigued. Because if you can get this guy the ball, he's as fast as anybody on the field. He's going to be faster than anybody on the defense. He was number 217 player nationally, number 36 at wide receiver, number 36 player in Texas as well. Picked LSU over Texas A&M and SMU and a couple of others. But this is not a guy that I would have thought much about this year. Exciting prospect, a guy that you hope they can use down the road. But when Brian Kelly said that 2 weeks ago at Media Days, it piqued my interest a little bit. So a couple of guys with really raw skill sets that are different, but exciting nonetheless. JuJuan Johnson in the defensive backfield and Jelani Watkins on offense or in the special teams game. I'm excited to see both of those two guys. So that's your Meet the Freshman for the day. As I mentioned, we'll do 2 every single day until we have handled them all. Tomorrow we'll do Trez Green and Gabe Relaford, so 2 kind of headliners in this class that could get to the field pretty quickly. We'll wind through. There's a ton of them. Joel Rogers, P.J. Woodland, Colin Hurley, Weston Davis, Michael Turner, Xavier Atkins, Don McKinley, Cohen Eccles. That's a lot of this class. We're going to do 2 every single day, so we'll get to Trez Green and Gabe Relaford tomorrow. We'll do it at 2 o'clock each and every day to kind of stay in a routine. And I just think it helps to kind of familiarize yourself with some of the guys that we're going to be talking about when we go out to practice and give our practice reports here on the air. So today, JuJuan Johnson and Jelani Watkins, your 2. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.